Alright. I'm going to throw those words out there at you again. Author, publisher, book reviewer, talk show host, devoted wife and mother. What is next for the literary diva?
Okay. Like what comes to mind with all of those titles?
Yes.
Well, I'll start off with oh my goodness. I'll start at the beginning. I was an author, then I became a reviewer, then I became a blog talk radio host, then publisher, and then that whole literary diva. I guess I was there before all of those other things, but everything was something where I had to go through necessary steps to get to the next level. So I couldn't review books had I not been an author, because I know just how it is wanting someone to read your book and, provide some feedback or a commentary on it, especially when you're a newbie. So that was the stepping stone. And being an author, using a print on demand and learning the business made me want to become a publisher, to be in total control of my literary fate, not leaving it up to anyone else. Me, instead of waiting for something to happen, Kisha was going to make it happen.
All right.
And what else? And so, like the blog talk host, that's just another marketing, I guess the marketing thing that I do, just to keep my name out there, but also to talk to other authors that are out there on their literary grind, doing their thing.
Okay, very good. All right, give me the name of all 6 of your titles.
Okay, the first title is Andy. The second title was Reflections of My Inner Soul, My Vision, My Dream, My Reality. That's a poetry book. The third book was Dear Mommy, which was like a self-help book for children that are grieving the loss of a parent. The fourth book was If It Ain't One Thing, It's Another, which was real issues that dealt with, development of sexuality, HIV. Then my fifth book was an erotica anthology, Mental Seductions, Erotic Escapades, Volume 1. And then the last one was a street lit anthology called On the Corner, which was also short stories of street lit. And then I released again through my own publishing company, Intervie did. So technically, it's the 6th book, but it's a re-release.
Okay. Well, what first motivated you to write in the beginning?
Well, I've always kept a journal since I was 11 years old, and it wasn't until just looking through those journals and just seeing like, wow, this kind of tells like a story, just how I'm describing my feelings and what's going on in my world, what have you. And then back in, I think it was 1999, I decided, after reading a book, like, wow, if they can do it, I can do it. And so I decided to write the story, and even if I did.
Right. Well, let's talk about it, even if I did, for a second.
Okay.
I've looked at the description. I told you I'm getting that too, by the way. It's about 3 very different women living in New York City. What was your motivation for that story?
Well, it's three Jersey girls. It's about 3 Jersey girls, and I guess not even the motivation to write the story, but just where it all came from is just being a female, having friends over the years, and different friends with different relationships, where you have certain friends that you do certain things with, and it was just seeing like a lot of female friends that I had and had conversations with that some of these relationships are not healthy, they're dysfunctional, and you just keep these people in your lives just because you're comfortable. So I wanted to talk about those relationships, but I didn't want it to be like I was telling you what to do, or it was a self-help type of book. I just wanted to put like a fiction spin on it, and it just talked about 3 Jersey girls, 3 professional Jersey girls that they're on a road to self-discovery, but also too, going through their trials and tribulations, they realize what the real meaning of friends forever is, because we're all quick to say my best friend, friends to the end, my ride or die, or whatever the case may be. So these girls each come to a reality check that puts them in a crossroads of like what they're going to do next.
Okay. Well, you've been through a lot of book signings. you got a chance to meet many fans. Do you have any memorable fan moments? Anyone who made you smile, or any particular time where you're just happy signing books?
You know what? We say fans. I don't feel like they're my fans. I just look at them as some people that support me in what I do. And so all of my moments where I get to meet people that embrace Kisha Green and her books, my shows, my reviews, I'm all for it. So it's kind of like I can't really pick one moment that's the favorite. It's like kind of asking a parent who's their favorite child. Every moment that I get to go out there and talk about Kisha and my books and everything that I'm about, and someone's listening to it, or they're approaching me, wanting to know more, that's a moment for me, and I'm happy that they're interested because that means I'm doing something correctly.
Okay. All right. Well, I was also gonna say too. I read the description for your book, Dear Mommy. What inspired such a powerful story?
Dear Mommy came after my mother passed away. Just for me to deal with my mother's death, I just needed to, this was therapy for me, I needed to just write these letters. I had to write these letters, and that's what Dear Mommy basically is. It's a book of letters that I would have wrote to my mother had she not passed away. But like I start them off like before she got sick up until she died. So it's just interesting. They're just letters, they're heartfelt letters that, I ask those questions. Why? Why did you have to leave me? I miss you. I want to see you again. These were, just real raw emotions that I was going through. But it was very therapeutic because I wrote the book in 2 weeks, and it was great. And also in the book, I included scriptures from the Bible that I found to be very comforting to me during that time. So it's, inspirational self-help. I'm not saying that, okay, if you do what Kisha Green did when your parent died, this is how it all turned out. No, I'm just letting you know that you are not alone. I can relate, I can empathize, I can understand where you're coming from, and just on the strength of how sometimes when someone passes away, everyone's always saying like, oh, it'll get better with time. And that's one of the things I touch on in Dear Mommy is like, I don't really necessarily believe that it gets better with time. I guess you learn how to deal with it a little bit better, but the pain is always still there.
Okay. All right. Well, switching gears for a second. All right. What prompted you to start book reviewing?
Book reviewing is what I started doing that because I knew, like, when I first released the Even If I Did with a Pro on Demand in 2006, I had hired a publicist, and he asked for X amount of copies of the book to send it out to reviewers. I'm just going to throw a number out there. Say I gave him 30 books that he said that he's going to send for 30 reviews. I only ended up getting maybe 3 or 4 reviews, so I'm wondering, well, where's the other 26 books? So I would have this conversation with other authors that I had spoke to, and they too were having that same frustration that, like, we send these books for reviews and we never get a review. And, I just wish that I could just send a book to someone who's just going to read the book, review it, and post a review, da-da-da. And I'm just like, you know what? I can do that. So I started, my friends, author friends, would send me their books. I would review it, post it up there, and, it was like great. They were happy, I was happy. I got to read a good book, they got a review, and, it helped them with their marketing, because that's one of the hardest things is when you give a brand new book and there's no reviews, because the first thing people are asking is, well, where are the reviews? What do people think? So it kind of worked out. So I started doing that, and then I launched Writer's Vibe, that literary website, just so I could promote authors, with their books and their reviews. If you had a new book out, I wanted to see it. Send me the JPEG of the cover and I would put it up there. Give me the synopsis. You have an event that's taking place, tell me about it. I want other people to know about it. You let me read your book, I'm going to post a review up there. And so that's how it all came about. And then it just, it just grew from there. Then I started going, doing reviews for other websites where it was just great for those authors that I was reading their books, because now I'm getting to put their work out there in other hands as well. So it all just started for me just wanting to help. I'm wanting someone to do for me what I was doing for them.